my channel. My name is Victoria, and today we're going to be talking about all of the books that I own that I have not read. Own physically that I have not read. I am a 100% digital reader, mostly audiobooks, sometimes ebook, but I do not read physically. Part of the reason for that is that I don't like to hold the book in front of me. It hurts as a chronically ill person to hold my wrists or whatever in the same position to hold the books. They're heavy. Second is that I have a neurological condition that makes it very difficult to stay on the correct line when I'm reading physically. When I'm reading on my ebook, on my Kindle, I can change the spacing, I can change the font size, that kind of thing. So I have a hard time with physical books with the size of the font or the size of the spacing or the margins. Either way, I don't really have to fully explain or give a reason why I don't read physically. I don't read physically. I do, however, like to collect books. So I mostly only buy books after I have read them, but there are ones that I have received as gifts. There are ones that I have been sent by publishers or by authors. There have been ones that I have just felt like, hey, I want to buy that. Or if they're going out of print from an author that I like, if they got picked up, that kind of thing, where I will buy a physical book even if I haven't read them. So you cannot see it, but there's an ottoman right next to me here that is full of all of my unread books. I have no idea how many there are. We can maybe count while we're going, but I'm just gonna show them to you, maybe tell you what I know about them, but that's about it. So we're just gonna get in. They're not in any order. They're just thrown here after I pulled them off my shelf. So the first one that I have is Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. I got this one at a indie bookstore in DC because it was signed and because I loved this cover and I want to read this for ages. They fell over. I have wanted to read this for ages, so I grabbed it. When I saw it there, Only for the Week, Natasha Bishop, #1. #2, Kate Canterbury, The Space Between. This one, I think I've only read one book by Kate Canterbury, but I saw this one at a used bookstore. It was only a couple of dollars, and it is also signed. And this is about an architect, and my father is an architect, and I used to work for an architectural firm, so I was working for an architectural firm when I bought this, just because I was curious, and I had never read a book that featured an architect before, so I thought that was cool. But yeah, it's Boss Assistant and something that I normally like. The next one that I have is Nikki Sloan, The Pool Boy. I am shocked that I have not read this yet because it is older woman, younger man, which is one of my all-time favorite tropes. I don't know why I haven't picked this up yet. I absolutely will. Nashville Neighborhood series, very excited about it. We have a Sophie Lark stack. So I have There Are No Saints, There Is No Devil, which is a duology about a serial killer, I think. I will attempt them at some point. I love the Brutal Birthright series by Sophie Lark and then just never continued on with anything else from her. I will eventually get to these, so I have them. Then I have most of the, what is this series called? The second generation of the Brutal Birthright series, the Kingmakers series. I have book 1, 2, and 3. I never bought book 4 before they went out of print, so I don't have book 4, but I have the first 3, and I started The Heir at some point and just like never finished it. But I will probably read it at some point. Next one that I have is Lore and Lust by Carla Nicole. This one I bought, actually I think this one might have been a gift. Either way, this one was either on my wish list and somebody bought it for me as a gift, or I bought it myself because Tori from Novel Life talked about it a couple of years ago. It's it's like vampires, I think. Yeah, and that sounds like something I would like, so I have it. I will read it. The Half-Orc Maiden Bride by Ruby Dixon. This is the Book Bonanza special edition. Just hit myself in the face with it. I got this at Book Bonanza when Ruby gifted it to me. She gifted me both of the Book Bonanza special editions that she had there. I gave the other one, which I don't remember what it was called, to my roommate, The King's Spinster Bride. I think that one is what it's called. But I had read that one. I gave it to my roommate. I have this one. I haven't read it yet. The next one that I have is Somewhere Beyond the Sea by TJ Klune. This is the follow-up book to The House in the Cerulean Sea, which was one of my favorite books of 2020. Absolutely love that book, so I will get to this at some point. We have a couple of Chloe Lease books. We have Two Wrongs Make a Right and Better Hate Than Never. I don't know what order they go in. I know that this is the same series. I loved the Bergman Brothers series by Chloe Lease, but I have not picked up anything after her Bergman Brothers series. I think there is a third one that just came out. Yeah, let me grab it. It's right here. Once Smitten, Twice Shy. So this is the series. I own the whole series. I have not read them. It just got dark. I'm very sorry. The lighting. I have not read them. I will at some point. I do love Chloe Lease's writing. These are Shakespeare retellings, which is just like slightly why I haven't read them, but I'm interested in all of them. I will read them. I just have not yet. Then we have God of War by Rina Kent. This is the last book in the, what is this series called? Legacy of God series. I loved the rest of the Legacy of God series, and then I was given an arc of this one when it came out. Before it came out, I was given an arc of it, and I never got to it because I had a family whole thing happen at that time, so I never was able to get to my arc, and then I never actually got to the book after it was released, so it is on my list. I will be getting to it at some point. This is a mafia style romance. I think it's Amnesia. But I got this edition off of Rina Kent's website when the covers were going out of print before they were traditionally published, so I grabbed it to match my other ones. We have Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. This one actually just came in the mail yesterday. I had pre-ordered it. It is Hannah Bonham Young's new book. Absolutely love her books. I have read the other 3 books that she has written. We'll definitely be getting to this one soon. It is Marriage in Trouble. Marriage in Trouble is always a difficult one for me, so I will get to this when I feel emotionally stable enough. Then we have I Married a Lizard Man by Regine Abel. I won this in a giveaway. We'll see if I get to this one. I recently, I meant to say this before I started, I recently did a full unhaul cull of like my entire shelves. I will be doing an unhaul video with like all of those books that were in that unhaul that I'm getting rid of. I have like 2 bags of books that I'm going to be getting rid of. So I recently did like a full cull, but there are some in here that are like in the next, if I don't read them in the next like 6 months, then I will probably end up putting them in that unhaul pile. This is one of those. I used to be very interested in it, and now I'm like not super interested in it, but this is one that if I decide I don't want to keep it, then I will be giving it to my roommate. This is her paranormal monster. That's like her thing. So then I have The Unwanted Marriage by Katharina Mora. This one was in our gift bag at Book Bonanza. I have never read Katharina Mora, but I really, really want to. I don't know why I haven't picked her up yet, but it's Billionaires, I think. And this is one that I'm definitely excited for. Okay, we have Locked Up Liars by Elle Thorpe. This is part of her like Locked Up St. View Prison series. It says it right on the front. St. View Prison series. I love some of Elle Thorpe's reverse harems, and this is one of the reverse harem series that I have not read from her, so I picked it up when it was at a used bookstore. It was $5, $6, $5.99. So I will get to it eventually, but I love reverse harem. Then I think there are a couple of, I think there are a couple QB Tyler books in this. I have Love Unexpected by QB Tyler and Unconditional by QB Tyler are both right here. This is the like hardcover edition of it. Ooh, and there's like some stickers and stuff in this book. I have met QB Tyler a bunch of times, so all of my books by QB Tyler are signed. I have read a good number of her books, but there are a handful that I have not read yet, but I do think I own all of them, so these are 2 that I haven't read yet. I have 2 Morgan Elizabeth books. I won both of these books in a giveaway. I have read 1 book by Morgan Elizabeth. It was the Christmassy one. Something for Revenge. Something for Revenge. It's like pink. It's Christmassy, whatever that one is called. I have read that one, so I want to give away with 2 Morgan Elizabeth books in it. This is a special edition one, and this is the Passenger Princess one. They're both signed by Morgan, and I will be getting to them at some point. My roommate loves Morgan Elizabeth, so I'm really excited about it. Then I have The Roommate Mistake by Pippa Grant. This is one that was sent to me by Handbright PR just recently. I hauled this in my recent reading vlog, I think, which I will link down below if you haven't seen it yet. This was in there. I unboxed it. Or unpackaged it, and this is Pippa Grant's new book. I will definitely be getting to it. It is a rugby single mom romance. I have Clarence Manor by Daphne Perry. This is one that was sent to me by Daphne when she like recovered and retitled the book. It used to be called Ivy. It is one of the only Daphne Perry books that I have not read. I think there are like 4 Daphne books that I haven't read, and this is one of them. Very, very excited to get to it. I just haven't yet. I own the audiobook. It is high on my TBR. I will be getting to it as soon as possible, but very excited about that one. I have Nobody's Darling by Sarah Blue. This one is the special edition, I think, that I got from her at a Polycon, and it is a Motorcycle Club Omegaverse romance. I'm a big fan of Sarah Blue. I love Omega's Obsession. I have read that one and loved that one, so very excited to get to this one. I have A Lesson in Thorns by Sierra Simone. I have had this for so long. I actually bought this. I bought it before I was going to a book signing that Sierra Simone was going to be at because I didn't own any of her books. I owned Priest at that time and I had read Priest, but I had never read anything else from her. So I had bought this one so I could go get it signed, and then she ended up dropping out of that book signing, so it's not actually signed. I have not gotten to this one yet. I know that's like super spicy and fun, so I'm excited about it. Then I have Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. I got this one at the independent romance bookstore in Virginia. It's called Friends to Lovers. It was brand new, and then they had a fire and it like burned the store. So they had like a little like pop-up area where you could go, and me and my roommate went to check it out just to like go support them, and I bought Phantasma there to support their store. I am very, very excited about this one. I don't know a ton about it, but I know it's been really, really loved. And it was on a couple of people's like favorite books of the year for 2024. I own the audiobook. I'm very excited to get to it. I have so many arcs. Otherwise I would actually be getting to this one like right now. This is like next up after I finish all the arcs that are on my list. I have Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. This one is a fantasy romance with like dragons, and I bought this book because I wanted the art print that came with it. It looks like this. It's so fucking pretty. So I pre-ordered it in order to get that art print, and I have just not gotten to it yet because I tried listening to the audiobook through my library and had a hard time following along with just the audiobook. I have that problem with fantasy sometimes, so I need to follow along with the book for this one, and I just do not have time to sit down and do that a lot of times. So at some point when I have like a spare moment, this is the one that I will be getting to so I can like sit down and like have it in front of me. I have Dangerous Temptation by Gianna Darling. This is a Gianna Darling duet. I've read a lot of Gianna Darling's books, but this is the, I have not read this duet. I think it's called the like Dark Dreamer duet, something like that. I don't remember. But this was a gift from Tori a couple of years ago for my birthday. I'm excited to get to it. I do love Gianna Darling. I love her writing so much. And I know that this one is like a forbidden, I think it's Guardian Ward one, which sounds very exciting. Then I have a couple of more that are in my like potential unhaul ones if I don't read them in the next couple of months. I have some Lucy Score ones. If you saw my like New Year book tag video, there was a question in there that's like an author that you might be done with, and for me I said Lucy Score. I have a hard time. I loved like 1 or 2 books from her, and then I haven't super loved anything since then. So I have these 3 on my shelves. There were a couple that I like immediately put in my unhaul pile, but these 3 were ones that I was like possibly still interested in. If you have read these, it's Rock Bottom Girl, The Christmas Fix, and Pretend You're Mine. But if you have read these by Lucy Score, somebody let me know if I would like them, if I should keep them, if I should read them. I don't know, but I have them for now still on my shelf. I have 2 Catherine Moon books. I have The Company of Fiends, which is the second one to Lady of Rooksgrave Manor. I loved Lady of Rooksgrave Manor, and then I got this one, and then the audiobook took a long time to come out, and then I just never got to it once the audiobook came out, but I do still want to. And then I have Howl for the Gargoyle, which is part of her Monster Smash agency series. I read the first one, which is Games with the Orc. This is the next one, which I got at a Polycon in 2024, so we'll be getting to them at some point. I love Catherine Moon, especially her Omegaverse series, but I do love her, I loved her Lady of Rooksgrave Manor, so I'm excited for these ones. I have another Ruby Dixon. I have When She Purrs, which is another one that Ruby gave me when I saw her at Book Bonanza. I have read a bunch of the Rizdiverse series, but just not this one, so it's on my list. Then I actually have a nonfiction, which is Rage Becomes Her, The Power of Woman's Anger. This is, like I said, a nonfiction, and it's all about women bottling up their anger. And I don't read a lot of nonfiction. I have a hard time with nonfiction. The world is scary, and sometimes I don't like to read about how scary the world is because I already know it's scary. But this is one that I was a women's and gender studies minor in college. I saw this one at a store a couple of years ago and was just like that. Sometimes it's just like hits, and I haven't gotten to it, but I do still want to get to this one. So then I have another one that possibly will go in an unhaul pile, but this is His Darkest Desire by Tiffany Roberts. I read one book by Tiffany Roberts and I was not a huge fan of it. I want to try another one, and I own this one. I got it at a used bookstore, so we'll see how it goes. I have Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman, which again, if you saw my New Year book tag, is one that I really want to get to this year. This one is like a captive romance, and she's held captive with her sister's fiance, I think, and then she and him fall in love. A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner. This one is the like 5th anniversary edition with the like extra chapters and things in it. I have just never picked this one up. I have loved a lot of Candy Steiner books, but this one is a right person, wrong time, which is not my favorite trope, so I have just never picked it up. I do still very much want to. It's just gonna take a lot for me to pick it up just because it's emotional and makes the kind of book that I think is gonna make me angry. So I have A Lady's Guide to Mischief and Mayhem, which is a historical, I think, one. Yeah, it was blurbed by Elizabeth Hoyt. It's historical. It looks cute. I really do want to read it. I have A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall, which is another historical one with a trans heroine, I believe, is with this one. Final Offer by Lauren Asher. I don't know what this one is about, but I liked Lauren Asher's other series with the race cars, her Formula One series. So, and I like her most recent series, so I'm gonna try it because I do own this one. A Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. This one is like a cute, cozy fantasy one. We're down to the last couple. We have Sweet Dandelion by Macaulay Smeltzer, which is a student-teacher forbidden romance. We have The Culmination of Everything by Christina C. Jones, which I am very mad at myself I have not read. It's so short. I don't know why I haven't picked it up. I love Christina C. Jones. I've read a couple of her books and I very much liked them, so I'm really excited to read this one. And then the last one that we have is actually a YA fantasy, and that is Legendborn by Tracy Dion. This is a like King Arthur retelling, I believe, and I've heard amazing things about the series, so I do really want to try it. It's YA fantasy, so I haven't picked it up because that's not super my genre anymore, but I do really want to try it, and it looks so good and so many people say amazing things about it, so I do want to try it. But that's all of them. That's all of the books that I own physically that I have never read. Like I said, I will be doing an unhaul video with the bags of books that I'm getting rid of, so be on the lookout for that. It will be coming soon. But yeah, that's it. That's all of them. That's it for this video. So like this video if you liked it, subscribe, stick around, see more content from me, and I hope that you have the absolute best day. Bye.